Thank you, Howard. As Howard said, my name is Scott Chase. I'm proud and happy to be the board chair for CASETA this past year. So welcome to the 2021 program. I know most of us have missed the camaraderie of the in-person symposium, and this happy hour is meant to restore some of that camaraderie. But before I get to the cocktail making, I'd like to say a few thank yous. First of all, I want to thank Howard, Taylor, Allura Henderson, and Blanca Hernandez for their fine work in putting together this program, as well as all of the other programs we've had this year for CASETA, including the Curatorial Wander. I also want to thank Sarah Beth Wilson and Bonnie Campbell, who have co-chaired the committee for this program. Their committee consisted of Noe Perez, Paul Bueller, Christian Kelleher, Charlie Adams, and Stan Price. Together, they made this program possible, and I thank them for their hard work. So, let's begin making our Texas cocktails with Texas ingredients. And my first cocktail will be what I call the Tejas Warrior, which in this case will be Texas whiskey. In my case, it's Cooper Rye made in Ledbetter, Texas. And I always like to measure my drinks. So we're going to pour 2.5 ounces of this Texas Rye, and then 1/2 ounce of Lieber & Co. fig syrup. This company makes these syrups and cordials that we're going to use tonight in Austin, Texas. So it's a Texas cocktail with a Texas ingredient and a truly Texas icon, Topo Chico. I always like to put a little water in my whiskey drinks. I think it adds a little texture to the drink. And the final thing we're going to do is black walnut bitters. You can use any bitters you want, but I like black walnut with my whiskey. So we stir it up, add a little cherry garnish. Cherries always make every drink perfect, I think. So there's our first drink, the Tejas Warrior. Our next drink, cocktail, will be the Drought Stricken Area. And that's going to be made with Texas vodka, in this case, black eye, made with black eye peas and corn in Fort Worth, Texas. We're going to, again, measure 2.5 ounces of vodka. And in this case, we're going to use Lieber Ruby Red Grapefruit Cordial. And of course, Ruby Red Grapefruit is a Texas product, so this is in place of vermouth, essentially, in the martini. This is really a vodka martini, if you think about it. So we're going to shake it up really well. All the bartenders in the country tell you to shake it up really well for your martini. I have a special martini glass here. One of my friends sent it to me recently. It's got a pretty color, don't you think? A little bit of golden, so it's a very nice color. And then I always like to add a little garnish to all my martinis. In this case, we're going to use onions to make a pretty drink. And that's called the Drought Stricken Area. Our last drink is going to be 2 drinks, actually. They're mocktails, and we start out with Topo Chico. And we're going to use some of this other Lieber & Co. products. We're going to make one really pretty spicy, the mocktail. We're going to use fiery ginger syrup and stir it up. In this case, we're going to use cherry bitters to cut the fieriness of the ginger, because it is fiery ginger syrup. Again, garnish it with some cherries, which I think always dress up a good drink. And our last drink, the mocktail, is going to be blood orange cordial. It's going to be a little sweet. Got a pretty red color, blood orange, obviously. Stir it up. And in this case, we're going to use Angostura bitters. The orange cordial is a little sweet. We're going to make the Angostura bitters a little spiciness to that. Again, stir it up. Cherry garnish, we have to have that. And there we have, this is the Watering the Herd, those 2 mocktails. So we have made Tejas Warrior, we've made Watering the Herd, and we've made Drought Stricken Area. I'm going to take the Tejas Warrior, because Tejas Warrior is actually in Fair Park, the alley tenant sculpture there, and toast to the 2021 program of CASETA. Thank you.